Welcome once again to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. This is Steve Gamache, and what we are looking at in this episode is the Masakage Mizu Honesuki 150mm knife. So this line of knives, they all have a 3-layer sandwich, and the inside or the core hardcore steel is awagami or blue paper number 2 reactive high carbon steel from Hitachi. Heat treat's about 62 to 64 Rockwell on there, so kind of a medium hard heat treat. The construction, as we mentioned, is 3 layers. The outside has a soft iron cladding, so the cladding is reactive as well, and that's on either side of that core steel. You can see the edge showing through with the grind. These also have a kurouchi or blacksmith finish on them that's kind of a deep, dark kind of gray, bluish, gray-black, so it's pretty cool, kind of a deep color. And it also has some lacquer all the way across the blade. It is not on the edge since they sharpen these before they put them in the box, but so you've got kind of 2 layers of protection, but it is an all reactive blade once you get past that protection. You can either keep the lacquer finish on it, which is really well done and very smooth and would likely probably wear pretty well until it just kind of wears off naturally, or you could take it off with acetone and just go right for it. So it just depends what you want to do. These are fairly light. Actually, this is a little bit lighter than the Kiri VG10 I just reviewed, but the weight and dimensions vary a little bit on these from knife to knife. Let's go this way here like I normally do. The weight on this one's 100 grams or 3.6 ounces, and the edge length is about 156. Again, these will vary a little bit from knife to knife, or about 6.15 inches. Overall length on this one's about 11.8 inches. The spine thickness, these can vary a bit, but this particular one coming out of the handle above the chin or back of the heel is about 3.15 inches, and then about halfway down, this one kind of has a constant thinning or taper as we go down the spine, but about halfway down the blade is about 1.85, and then it starts to thin down from there. When you make the corner turn here on the tip, it thins down even more. It doesn't get like super duper skinny at the very, very tip, so you have some robustness there, but it's kind of a nice smaller tip with some geometry to get in tight places. The blade is 50-50 grind, so it's good for lefties or righties. A lot of Honesuki style blades are right hand only with kind of single bevel style grinds. This one is double bevel, 50-50. Out of the box edge was excellent, about a 7 out of 10 on my scale. This is typical of a Masakage knife. They finished these nicely, so it's got just a little bit of relief on the spine and also nicely curved and rounded polished choil, and very comfortable right out of the box. The handle is their oval cherry handle, and then the ferrule is a kind of a marbled plastic resin ferrule. It's a sleeve that goes over, so these always typically have a little bit of a step there between the wood and the ferrule where they slide that sleeve over, and then they've got a pretty tight install on it. You'll probably want to coat this with some kind of protective finish since you might get chicken goo all over it, so good idea. 75 millimeters or about 3 inches is the circumference where the ferrule meets the wood, pretty standard size. You've got Masakage's typical signature curved choil here, very comfortable for a pinch grip. Balance point is just in front of that handle. This blade has some stiffness to it. It's not as stiff as some, but it's got plenty of stiffness for the job. It's just not like super rock or Gibraltar stiff, but it's pretty doggone stiff. The profile, a lot of people, especially with these double bevel Honesuki boning knives, will sometimes use them as general purpose knives in a pinch or possibly on the line. This one is fairly thin at the edge, and so it might work well for kind of double duty if you want to do a little bit of processing of, veggies or whatever with it, or cut some meats. But this one has this type of profile on it. The angle of these typically gives you a lot of board clearance. So some people, again, like to use these just for here and there in a pinch if it's available and handy to do some other stuff with. So there's your profile. So if you're looking for a lightweight, easy to sharpen Honesuki with some character to it, and pretty good. These are pretty value price ranged as far as the value proposition goes. So it's a nice line. So here we have the Masakage Mizu Honesuki 150mm knife.